Hi everyone, Linda here from Erica Michaels Designs, and I'm going to do a little bit of show and tell for you today. Sitting here at my desk, and I've got some models. As you know, we all just squeaked in our national market early in March this year, and then we got home and had to shift into a lockdown status. So our brick and mortar stores had to close their shops to walk-in traffic. That also meant that they had to cancel a lot of events. I missed at least 2 retreat weekends in April and had to cancel or postpone 3 trunk shows. So what I want to do in a series of short videos is give you a little virtual trunk show in bits and pieces. That way I can show you the models and talk about them a bit. So I'm going to start first with 3 designs that were released just a couple of weeks ago. They're in stores now, so you can certainly contact your shop if you see something that you haven't noticed before and ask them about it. First of all, I'm going to start with Constant Companion. I don't have the models for this one. This is what the chart pack looks like. The models are currently on loan to the Attic Needlework in Mesa, Arizona. And she has the linen model, the silk gauze model, and she also has the little antique sampler that this is based on. I used the border from her sampler, but I wasn't crazy about the verse. So I chose 2 quotations or verses that are needlework themed. One is from Nathaniel Hawthorne, and in part it reads that we're never more at home with our hearts than when we're sewing. That speaks to me. The other one is from a publication, a ladies' work table book from 1844, and this portion reads, "No one can look upon the needle without emotion. It is a constant companion throughout the pilgrimage of life." Hello. So the border is exactly the same. It's just different verses inserted. And obviously one is on silk gauze and one is on linen. So you can use your preference. You can switch them up, stitch them on whatever you want. What I did on the linen version is I mimicked the antique, where the border was sewn in wool thread and the interior verse she had stitched in cottons. So on this model, the border is stitched in wools from the Gentle Art, and then the verse is stitched in cotton floss. Down here on the silk gauze, I've used all cotton flosses. So this is already a real favorite of mine, so I hope you enjoy it too. Next, Charlotte's Berries. It's kind of hard to show them all at once. A trio, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Linen berries. All 3 berry patterns are in the same chart pack. First off, let's start with the stag. Front and center in Charlotte Mollinger's sampler, which I reproduced and released in Nashville, was the reclining stag. So he had to have a berry. Pretty simple stitching on this one. A couple of little dogs are there too. So there's the brown wool cap with some green and some old twill tape and a vintage button. Very simple. This is the golden flower berry, for lack of a better word, it's what I'm calling it. Very samplery motifs. More of the green wool, and I've echoed it with the vintage button and a bit of ribbon. Excuse me, just a second. Finally, what I'll call the blue flower button. This pretty little blue flower was pretty prominently stitched into the center of her sampler in a floral band, and of course it just screamed to have its own berry. Just a pretty little thing, more pretty wools, and a vintage button on top. So that's Charlotte's Berries. Again, all 3 of them in the same chart pack. Next, this is the time of year where we all like to stitch Americana patriotic themes. And so my release in that regard this time around is My Heart Beats True. And this is taken, it's a little part of the chorus from George Cohan's song, It's a Grand Old Flag. My heart beats true for the red, white, and blue. This piece is stitched on 40 count silk gauze, If you've been following my Facebook or Instagram posts recently, you know that I can't get 40 count gauze anymore. So this is a primary example of where I've stitched the model on 40 count, and the initial chart packs that were printed and assembled have the 40 count enclosed. But because I can't get it anymore, subsequent chart packs will be shipped with 35 count. Now it's only a little bit bigger. It's way easier on the eyes, and you still get the same really pretty result. So that's the silk gauze, but look, same thing on linen. Isn't that pretty? This is on 36 count. I believe it's Heartland from Picture This Plus. And so you can go either way. It's exactly the same design. You can go either way, linen or the silk gauze. Okay, next, I want to show you what we've got going. And when I say we, I'm talking about Lois from Lady Dot Creates. We got together last fall and we put together a class for the Nashville market this spring. And 24 shops who attended Nashville were in our class, and they get exclusive rights to this chart pack design and the finishing kit for this coming year until our next market. So I wanted to show you that and talk about it a little bit. It's very cool, and we had a blast working on it. We call it Lions, Tigers, and Trims. Oh my! And this I designed. It's basically a monochromatic design, although this one does have slight contrasting DMC color if you want to pick out the details that way, but it's just as easy to just do the entire thing in a single color. This one's done on 32 count linen, and your shops can get this for you, as well as the Weeks Dye Works and DMC floss that we use for this. So very pretty, but the inside, just look. This color is called Polar Ice, and Lois released it new, or premiered it basically at the Nashville market. This pretty kind of tealy, soft teal color. And she did the finishing on this. We've got a pin cushion that has the lion, the same little lion as was on this side. There's another little stitched piece that's a pocket. And she's come along and she's lined it in this yummy velveteen in the Polar Ice. It's trimmed in chenille around the outside here. There's some lace holding where the thread rings are. Little mini poms to trim the edge of the pin cushion. Lots of rayon ribbon. There's more little poms to trace the little pocket insert. And the edge of the pocket has more of the lace trim. So, so pretty. All the finishing instructions are in the chart pack. We designed this with the for the shops to really have something they could use as a class or a stitch along or something. With everything going on and then not being able to be open, that's maybe been a little more difficult for them. So if you go to my website, down at the bottom of the design page for Lions, Tigers, and Trims, there are some tabs, and some of those talk about supplies, but one of them is labeled exclusive shops. And there's a list of the 24 shops who took the class. So you can contact whichever ones of those that you like and get the chart pack with all the finishing instructions and the charts, and the finishing kit from Lady Dot Creates they can also get for you. That's going to be the velveteen, all of the trims, all the bits and pieces that you need to finish it. So get the chart pack from your shop, the finishing kit from your shop, and then you'll need to get your linen and your threads. Now, I can't stop with just one thing oftentimes. So what we also did, just to kind of get people thinking and get your wheels turning a little bit, is we did this little roll in another colorway. This one is smaller because it's on 36 count linen, and it's done entirely in one color of floss, so it doesn't have that subtle contrast with the DMC. This isn't kitted per se with a finishing kit, but your shop can help you obtain these materials. It's much more simple. It's got just a basic little pocket, It's got the little mini palms all around the edges there and of the pocket. There's some little twill tape to attach the scissors. There's some rickrack up there and more twill tape to roll it up. I almost like this one just as well as the other one, but they're both very cool. Also, we had fun with a pincushion. So this is just another one of the motifs that's part of the larger sampler side. Again, to kind of get the wheels turning and get you thinking about what all that you could do with something like this. So again, contact your shop for details, and my website will have lots of information too. Okay. Finally, lots of you are aware of the Be Well and Stitch hashtag that's been trending these last several months as we all take a lot of comfort with our needle. And so I wanted to just give you a quick look. Here's my contribution. This, you can download the PDF file with this chart on my website. Easiest place is probably right on the homepage. Near the very top, there's some large gallery photos at the top of the site, but just under those gallery photos, there's a welcome message and then a link to where you can download this chart and the chart for the little Stay Home and Stitch Berry. Isn't that cute? Little wool cap on top. So much fun. Okay, that's what I had planned for this time. So I want you to, again, my website's going to have details on all of these things. Go to your shops. When you are on my website, check those supply lists and lots of other images that you can take a closer look at. When I post this, I'm also going to list links to those pages so that you can get a quick look at them. But for now, thanks for watching, and check back for more as I work my way through what would have been the trunk shows. Bye-bye.